Hello and welcome students to the class of Analog Electronics. Here in this video, we are going to know about a special type of analog electronic device. It is abbreviated as SMPS, whose full form is Switch Mode Power Supply. It's a totally new device, totally new kind of thing to you as you have studied so far. So go through this video. Hopefully you will like this because you have seen the application of SMPS, I believe. So let us first study this. So this is a video on switched mode power supply. So the contents that we are going to share today: a general description, what is power supply, what are the different kinds of power supply we may have, advantage or disadvantage of SMPS, block diagram of SMPS, basic topologies and practical requirements, working of various SMPS technologies, under that flyback converter, push-pull converter, half bridge and full bridge converter, last but not the least, application of SMPS, and the conclusion that we got from this video. Okay, so these are all the contents that we are going to cover today. So what is a power supply? Any device that supplies electric power to an electric load can be defined as power supply. The different types of power supplies include battery, DC power supply, AC power supply, linear regulated power supply, switched mode power supply, programmable power supply, and UPS, that is uninterruptible power supply. So these are different kinds of power supply we may have. Now in this video, since we are going to study about SMPS, so what is an SMPS? In the figure you can see a diagram of SMPS, a pictorial view. An electrical power supply that incorporates a switching regulator to convert electrical power efficiently. It transfers power from a source to a load while converting voltage and current characteristics. Voltage regulation is achieved by varying the ratio of on-to off time. What are the advantages of SMPS over linear power supply? Lower weight, smaller size, higher efficiency, lower power dissipation, wide AC input voltage range, and reduced cost. So these are all the advantages of SMPS that can have over linear power supply. But what is the disadvantage? It's complex. The circuit is complex. So this is the block diagram. I'll I'll suggest you just draw the block diagram of SMPS, because after that you keep the diagram in front of you and we will discuss about the operation of different stages. So I'll give you just 5 minutes and draw the diagram, the block diagram of SMPS. It's also important for your exam. So first you draw the block diagram, just have a 5 minutes, have a pen and paper and draw it. It's very simple, just draw it. Just draw the block diagram, have the write up over there, and then we will discuss in detail about different stages of the block diagram of assembly. So just have 2 or 3 minutes to draw to complete it. So the first stage you can see in the block diagram is the rectifier, input rectifier stage. As we all know, input rectifier, it is used to convert AC input to DC. SMPS with DC input does not require this stage. Wherever we can get the direct DC input, we don't need this rectifier stage. The rectifier produces unregulated DC, which is then passed through the filter circuit. So I hope you all have drawn the diagram. So I'm changing it. Next is inverter stage. The inverter stage converts DC whether directly from the input or from the rectifier stage described above to AC by running it through a power oscillator whose output transformer is very small, with few windings at a frequency of 10 or hundreds of kilohertz. Output transformer, if the output required is to be isolated from input, the inverted AC is used to draw the primary winding of a high frequency transformer. This converts the voltage up or down to the required output level on its secondary winding. Output rectifier, if the DC output is required, the AC output from the transformer is rectified, and regulation, feedback circuit monitors the output voltage. Factors to be considered while selecting a topology for a particular application. So what are the factors? The factors are: is our input to output dielectric isolation required for the application? Are multiple outputs required? Does the prospective topology place a reasonable voltage trace across the voltage semiconductors? Does the prospective topology place a reasonable current trace across the voltage semiconductor? How much of the input voltage is placed across the primary transformer winding or inductor? So these are the few considerations we need to keep in mind. And typical maximum output power available from each topology, these are mentioned over here. Now, use of non-isolated topology, whether we are using buck type, boost type or buck boost type, based on that we can get this power, relative cost and energy storage. Use of various transformer isolated, if we use different types of transformer, if it is flyback, if it is half bridge, if it is full bridge, then different high peak current can be shown over here. These are just for your information. Now working of various SMPS topology. The first one you can see over here is flyback converter. So first you draw the circuit. Within 3 minutes just draw the circuit. After that we will discuss about the circuit operation. So this is flyback converter. Draw the circuit with the heading of flyback converter and working of various SMPS topologies. So what are the operation of flyback converter? Students, I hope you have drawn the circuit. So I'm changing it. Mode 1 operation when Q1 is on. In your copy, you can see the figure. When Q1 is on, current builds up in the primary winding. Secondary winding has the opposite polarity because D1 is off, and C maintains the output voltage which supplies load current. When Q1 is turned off, mode 2 operation, polarity of the winding reverses. Diode D1 conducts, charging C and providing current to the load RL. Secondary current falls to 0 before the next cycle begins. Waveform summary. This is the waveform of SMPS in flyback converter mode. Next is push-pull converter. Again, give the heading. You don't need to draw this waveform because this will not come in exam, but the circuits will come. So next circuit with the heading push-pull converter mode of operation of SMPS, draw the diagram. So this is the second one, push-pull converter circuit. Operation when Q1 on, VS across the lower primary winding is measured, and when Q2 on, supply voltage is across the upper primary winding. Just you have to draw the main circuit, not the operated one. Next, half bridge converter. Just draw the circuit half bridge converter. I suppose this will take much time, so have 5 minutes and draw the circuit. So this is the circuit of half bridge converter, which are working as SMPS. So I hope you have completed the figure of half bridge converter. The mode 1 operation of half bridge converter can be discussed over here. When the transistor Q1 is on, the diode D1 will be conducting and energy will be transferred to the load. This is the mode 1 operation. And for mode 2 operation, both transistors are off. D1 continues to conduct due to current in L1. So these two are the operating modes for half bridge converter in SMPS. In mode 3 operation, Q2 is kept on, D2 is conducting, and energy is transferred to the load. I'm not asking you to draw all these figures because you don't need to draw all these things. In such detail, this is not required. These are all for your study, but in exam only the main circuit will be required. Mode 4 operation, both transistors will be off. D2 continues to conduct due to current in L1. And this is the summary. Again, the last one you have to draw. This is full bridge converter. Just draw the circuit of full bridge converter. So hopefully you have completed the circuits of full bridge converter. In mode 1 operation, Q1, Q4 are kept on, Q2, Q3 are off, D1 will be conducting and energy will be transferred to load. Mode 2, all transistors will be off, D1 continues to conduct due to current in L1. In mode 3, Q2, Q3 are on, Q1, Q4 off, D2 will be conducting, energy will be transferred to the load. Mode 4, same, all transistors will be off. D2 continues to conduct due to current in L1. Now, application of SMPS. Machine tool industry, security system, support supply with PLC, personal computer and mobile phone charger. So you can see SMPS has various kinds of application. These are some SMPS that are available in Indian market. So the most common SMPS technologies are flyback, push-pull, half-bridge and full-bridge converter. Each has its own particular operating characteristic and advantages, which makes it suitable to particular application. Okay, so in this video, some of the most common application of SMPS have been mentioned. So my dear students, these are the references from where you can get more and more knowledge of SMPS. You can get the figure I have discussed with you. You can get the operation of different modes of operation of SMPS. So thank you once again for watching the video. If you like the video, you can press the like button. If you have any doubt, you can mention that in the comment section. If you have any further more references to get knowledge about SMPS, you can also share that in the comment section. So hope you will all go through this video. In your exam SMPS, a question detail of SMPS will come of 7 to 8 marks, or it will 10 to 12 marks. So this is all about SMPS. Just have a compact note from this video that will surely help you in your exam. So thank you for watching this again. Have a good day. Thank you.